is Jonathan Reid. I'm the Creative Director for Media Support International, a Barbados-based communications and marketing firm. I'm also the Creative Director of Spectrum Life, which is a Caribbean online art magazine. I think a lot of my personal style was developed out of necessity. I think being a big guy in the Caribbean and generally, anyone that's into style and looking good, it's difficult to find ready-to-make clothes. It's really too small for you, too short for you. So initially, once you start doing well in business, you generate a little revenue, start bringing things to a tailor, you start getting things personalized. You have ideas that you may see on social media or something that you always wanted to do, and you become more knowledgeable about the process of making your own fashion, making your own style, making your own statement. And it kind of developed from there. My general interest is in Caribbean rooted art. So the idea of color, the idea of vibrance, the idea of a certain level of confidence was what I brought to, when I developed my own sense of style. I don't think I would say I was always stylish or into style. That's something that certainly developed, maybe the last 5 to 7 years. Especially, you have the trends and stuff coming from Instagram, you have Tumblr, you can follow different things and see, okay, I like that, I can do this for myself in this way, and so on. So you are influenced by different things. So it's kind of involved in that. I really do love the Caribbean region, so I always try to create aesthetic that reflects Caribbean art in whatever I do. So my clothes and choices and my colors and where I carry myself is kind of like a reflection of that in my mind. You have a sense of what works and what doesn't work for you as a big guy. I mean, some of the things I don't do, like I don't think I own any t-shirts, for instance. My t-shirts don't fit well on me. You have a sense of what fits well on you and what you like. Spend the money on good shoes, where you could get a cheaper shirt, but you could always get a really good pair of shoes. Having really classic pairs of jeans that can almost fit with anything. A really classic white button-down shirt. I mean, classic white, well-cut button-down shirt, blue jeans, nice pair of shoes. I mean, it's almost like a uniform. It's as sleek as it gets. So you before you make money and before you have a range of clothing, you can kind of really work on your basics and get your basics solid, and you really develop it from there. So that's essentially how my wardrobe would have developed. You have your basics, your things that you kind of go to, and then you just expand from there to more flamboyant kind of pieces that you have to spend a little bit more money on. I'm kind of competitive with things, so I always say that I don't want two of the same color, to be quite frank. So every time I buy something in terms of fabric shopping or whatever, I always try to get a color I didn't have before, try to get a pattern I didn't have before. Try to repeat it in a way that, well, would he really wear that? And how would he pull it off in terms of this big guy must be confident to wear it. But I do have a kind of go-to style for my work where I wear this kind of waistcoat suit. I initially started off wearing jackets, but it's hot as hell in the Caribbean. So I went away from wearing full sleeve jackets to having a waistcoat, which is, it's neater, it's slightly more casual. I love having my sleeves rolled up. So it's a little irreverent as well. The idea of not wearing a tie, having my sleeves rolled up. I typically wear my suits without leather shoes with no socks, just to be kind of a little braggadocious. So that's kind of my go-to wear. That's what you'd see me in like Monday to Friday. I do, because I own my own firm, I do dress kind of depending on what I feel like for the day as opposed to what my meetings are. So sometimes I recently started wearing hats and felt hats and fedoras and so on. I love them. So you'd see me, a pair of jeans, a pair of double mocks, and a nice hat, my feather in it and all kind of stuff. So it's just kind of like how you feel. And to me, the hat is one of those things that really goes back to the idea of the Caribbean gentleman, because I was having a debate with my tailor that you see all these classic photos of Caribbean men in the 50s, the 60s, even as the early 70s, and they look so fantastic with their hats and so fashionable. And then after that, the late 70s, the 80s, I assume because of the emergence of the Afro, that men stopped wearing hats. So my grandfather would have worn hats, but my dad didn't wear a hat. So I think a hat in a Caribbean climate is hot as hell all the time. So a hat makes perfect sense and it looks great. I don't think I can get away with being trendy as a big guy. So I'm not going to follow a lot of trends. A few I like. As I said, I like the hats. I like accessories. But I can't follow trends in terms of wearing polka dots or something like that, something crazy like that. So I think the idea of the 50s, the 60s, is the idea of classic cuts. You know, you have the classically fitting suits. You have someone that looks like they're going about somewhere that is important. They have a sense of purpose. I think the 50s and the 60s, the Caribbean is a time where, you know, people were driven by an ideal of being independent, and they took themselves seriously. You know, they had a good time. When they were having a good time, they were serious at that, and when they were being serious, they were serious at that, and that's the type of my personality, very driven, perhaps not having as much of a good time as I should be having. But the idea that you have a sense of purpose, you have a sense of confidence, you have a sense of a vision for yourself and what you would like to do. And I'm inspired by that. And the kind of modern flair is, you know, the colors, essentially. I mean, I don't know if I'll see Arrow Barrow in something like I'm wearing right now. But, you know, the idea of colors that, you know, that's kind of more of a international influence. So you see something like, you know, a fashion show in Italy or something like that, where the guys are really wearing really nice, you know, red double-breasted linen suits or something like that, which is really cool. Like, you know, you think, why can't I project that in the Caribbean? You know, it's a material that is breathable and this looks, you know, so good. So I think the idea of like international flair, having the confidence to wear color because, you know, my interest in art and, you know, that purpose of being like a serious Caribbean man with a sense of like Caribbean confidence is really how I would overall describe my style.